Hodl the Bitcoin.
What's up, everybody? It is Ben, and this is your daily session on the BTC Sessions. We're going to be going through some news today. I apologize yesterday for the sound delay. Hopefully I fixed that today, but I guess we'll see. Anyways, we're going to dive into the news. So, let's pull up what's been going on. There we go. Let's take a quick look at the markets. Down across the board pretty much, but let's just take a look here. So Bitcoin's down just shy of 5%. You've got Ripple down about getting close to 4%, Ethereum down 6.5%, Stellar down almost 7%, Bcash down 12%. So it's, you know, more or less a continuation of the trends that we've been seeing. If you're unfamiliar with this site, I've just kind of started checking it out recently, but I really like it because there's a lot of metrics that you don't get on something like CoinMarketCap. So some of the things that I really like looking at beyond just the regular current market cap is the 24-hour volume. You've also got the 24-hour transaction volume. This means on-chain. So how much money has actually been moved on the actual blockchain itself. So one thing that I found funny the other day is if you look in number 4 at Stellar here, you see that it's way up there. Its volume on the exchange is about 60 million, but look at on-chain, $450,000. That's all the money that's moving on-chain. That's insane. The fact that it's number 4 is ridiculous. But there's lots of fun things on this website. I recommend you check it out, masari.io/onchainfx. This is not paid, by the way. I just mention things that I think are kind of cool, and I like this site. So moving on, let's get into this. Vertcoin was hit by a 51% attack. So essentially, it looks like somebody rented a ton of hashing power and was able to more or less take over the Vertcoin chain and execute some 51% attacks. I was looking earlier, it looks like there were 22 reorgs of the chain, 15 of which included double spends. They estimate that there were thefts of probably over $100,000. So what would an attack look like? A lot of the time it has to do with exchanges that don't require enough block confirmations before allowing trading to begin. So in this instance, maybe the attacker would have had Vertcoin and know that it has more than 51% of the hashing power. They could send Vertcoin to an exchange. They could trade their Vertcoin for any other asset and then quickly remove that asset from the exchange. Then with their 51% of the hashing power on the network, they could effectively that what they sent was double spent, and they could reverse that transaction as if it never happened. So the exchange that's supposed to be holding the Vertcoin now has nothing because that transaction effectively doesn't exist anymore, but they've given away whatever other currency they traded for. So we've seen this before. Bitcoin Gold, I believe, saw this just a few months back. So it just really highlights the fact that some of these chains, it doesn't take a lot of money to execute attacks like this. So anyways, let's move on to another disaster. Is you are seeing in EOS, there are people that are doing vote buying. So people that are unfamiliar with EOS, the way that it works is they've got 21 block producers. Those are the people that more or less maintain the network and vet and allow transactions to go through. And they are voted upon by the community. But guess what? They've decided to, one of the block producers has decided to more or less incentivize people to continue voting for them by paying for votes through a convoluted way. They've released some sort of an app that's kind of like a gambling app, but more or less what's happening here is they're paying people for votes. And this is part of my problem with EOS is the fact that you've got these 21 individuals or entities that get to control the network, and I see that as a major fault in their governance model. So by the way, links to these stories are down below in the description. Let's move on a little bit. Roger Ver said some words and nobody cared, so let's move on from that. Then we're going to dive into Binance released a demo of their planned decentralized crypto exchange. So there's the regular crypto exchange where essentially they're holding funds for you and you can go on and trade. I'm sure many of you have tried it out before, but they plan to launch a decentralized exchange. Now, what do they mean by decentralized? Essentially what they're meaning in this instance is that you will hold your own private keys yourself. So you are effectively holding your own cryptocurrency. You're not relying on them to hold it for you. Now, is it decentralized in any other aspect? Not necessarily from what I've seen. And what I'm wondering here is, are people going to expect it to be more decentralized than it is? Because we saw just recently they went after a decentralized exchange called EtherDelta, or rather they went after the founder. And Binance is still going to be pulling fees from this decentralized exchange. So you do have this corporate entity that's making money off of this quote unquote decentralized exchange. You still got people that can be gone after by the SEC. So is it decentralized? I guess in the idea that you get to hold your own currency and you're not relying on them to do that for you, which is a good step in the right direction. But I look forward to seeing more instances of completely decentralized exchanges. And as we've learned from EtherDelta being cracked down on and the founder being fined in multiple instances, is that when somebody does this, they need to remain anonymous. So I see it as a detriment that Binance is involved in any capacity, really. It would have been cool if somebody had just dropped the code open source somewhere, and I think there are better examples of decentralized exchanges out there. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. Let's move on. The Bitcoin price, it's on track for the biggest yearly loss on record. Now, when I first saw this headline, I was thinking, well, they're probably talking in terms of dollars because the price has gone up so much. Of course, the dollar drop is going to be bigger, but it is actually percentage drop. So it is on track for 73% drop at the moment. Which is huge, but also when you look at yearly performance. Okay, so well, let's break a few of these down. You've got up 1,400%, up 186%, up 5,500%, down 57%, up 35%, up 125%, up 1431%, down 73%. There's a lot of up there, but I mean, I'm not dismissing the fact that a 73% drop isn't crazy over the course of the year, but it's also a very arbitrary measurement. In fact, this 57% drop here, it was from peak to trough was actually quite a bit larger, but let's not forget that the peak in 2013 came near the end of November. So it had already started dropping through most of December. And so that means the starting price for 2014 was already lower from the peak. Whereas with Bitcoin in 2017, that peak came, I think it was December 17th. So it started dropping after that. So it really only had a couple weeks to drop before we hit the new year. So it was still quite high in January as we flipped over to January 1st. So more of this drop has been encapsulated in 2018. So I'm curious if that pretty much does have to do with the discrepancy in the I guess, the magnitude of the drop here. But am I worried about the drop? No, it's pretty much par for the course here. If you're worried about 75%, 80% drops in Bitcoin, you're putting your money in the wrong assets. Now, I want to jump into one story that I think is important to me, especially I'm up here in Canada, and I've recently changed careers, and today at 4 p.m. Calgary time, so Mountain Standard Time, we're putting on an event here. And Francis Pouliot, if you're unfamiliar with him, he's the CEO of Satoshi Portal, of Bills. He's got a project called CipherNode. He's here, and we're announcing the formation of a new company and some exciting things that we're working on in the future. So today's kind of an announcement for that. But the landing page is up. There's a bit of a countdown, but I encourage you guys to watch moving forward why I'm excited. I'm in the process of editing a video, including footage from the event today, about why I'm excited to be a part of this, why I've made this massive shift in my career and really tried to put my money where my mouth is and have skin in the game and exude the qualities that I want to see come out of cryptocurrency, and in particular Bitcoin. So I'm very excited for this, and I can't wait to be a part of it, but I'm not going to say too much beyond that because I'll let Francis do the talking later on today. And other than that, I guess before I sign off here, I'll mention one more time, I do have a new website up. Feel free to pop in and check it out. This is where you can contact me directly. I do offer one-on-one consults, I guess education sessions would be a better name for it. If people want to learn about particular wallets, want to discuss higher level concepts, that's what I'm here to do, and that's what I love doing, and I've already had some great people that I've talked to, and they've booked me for appointments, and I love it. Also, if you're in media and you ever want interviews, I'm always happy to do those as well. So beyond that, I just wanted to say thank you guys very much. Hopefully I fixed those sound issues. If I didn't, let me know, but I will be seeing you guys again tomorrow. So have a wonderful day, and this has been your daily session.